region, and a special day at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Hello, good afternoon, wherever you might be getting our voices and signals from. You most welcome, of course, welcome to the Box Bar Mini Stadium. And this afternoon is the Brikama and West Coast Derby between Berewuleng Football Club and Greater Tomorrow in the GFF Women's FF Cup. Of course, it is the round of 16 and the clash between the girls in blue and black. Berewuleng Football Club against Greater Tomorrow side, dressed in red shorts, black shorts and red socks. And Greater Tomorrow currently playing from our left to right, or right to left from where we are seated. White Berewuleng kicks from our left to right from our commentary cabin. And the central referee of this crucial, of course, crucial fixture between Berewuleng and Greater Tomorrow is Mariama Ofal. Sena Bucham is one of the assistants. Keba Mare and Lamin Damfa, of course, serving as the fourth assistant referee. And before going deep into the commentary, a rundown on the starting 11 for Berewuleng Football Club. And Berewuleng is currently starting this afternoon with Diminga Mende in goal, Maria Masise, Abimari Sambu, Kadi Sanyang, Ilen Gomez, Sarah Jaju, Aja Jabang, Kumba Kasama, Rebecca Mendy, Fatu Jata and Murida Cafe completing the 11 for Coach Fakeba Sen and his girls. And Fakeba is having the assistance as usual of Modlamin Sanyang. And on the other dog is Peter N. Mendy, who is serving as the head coach for Greater Tomorrow Football Club. And Peter is having the assistance of Abdullah Jalo. And Peter Mendy and his girls are currently starting with Mariama Jalo in goal. Uday Koli 10 team captain Teresa Silva, Sadio Toure, Yacinda Cisse, Juba Koli, Fantamane, Mariama Baje, Elizabeth Ndeki, Mesinda Mendy and Mariama Balde completing the 11 for Greater Tomorrow Football Club. And Greater Tomorrow, of course, is a team playing in the second tier of Gambian women's football, whilst Berewuleng is playing in the top flight, of course, GFF Men's Division or GFF Women's Division 1. And Berewuleng is currently leading the table with 33 points, whilst Greater Tomorrow on second in the second division with 29 points. But already is a Brikama and West Coast Derby, of course, at the Box Bar Mini Stadium between Greater Tomorrow and Berewuleng Football Club. And looking at these two sides, they currently having a great number of the national under-20 women's players. Of course, Berewuleng having Diminga Mendy, Kadi Sanyang, Elen Gomez, Sarah Jajo, Kumba Kasama, Rebecca Mendy completing the list of players. This time around, Elen Gomez. And that's a goal for Berewuleng Football Club. And Berewuleng's leading goal scorer, Elen Gomez, just broke the deadlock at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. And it's currently Berewuleng 1, Greater Tomorrow 0 from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Kemo Kanye, of course, an early goal coming from Berewuleng Football Club. And this time it is the leading goal scorer, Elen Gomez, who find the back of the net to give the advantage to the girls in blue and black. Berewuleng lead by a goal to 0 against Greater Tomorrow. Of course, a Brikama and West Coast Derby at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in the Women's FF Cup. Of course, round of 16, but already there is a goal. Of course, Berewuleng leading by a goal to 0.
Yes, thank you so very much, Pa. I mean, one would expect that because looking at the performance that Berewuleng is currently on in the first division, so that tells you a lot about the strength that their team is currently having. Though Greater Tomorrow, they are not also experiencing a bad season because I mean they are currently on the second place of the GFF female division 2. So for that of Bere, they are in the first division currently occupying the top spots there, and then they are closely followed by TMT and that of the Red Scorpion, who snatched the trophy from them last season. So coming into this particular fixture in this FF Cup for women, so they are the two teams that are meeting. Of course, both teams come from Brikama here, and then so we expect to see a very difficult game between the two sides here, that in that of Berewuleng and that of Greater Tomorrow side. So I mean, as of now, we are in the early part of the game, but already in the first 4 minutes we have seen Berewuleng taking the lead here through Elen Gomez. That was a beautifully taken there by Elen Gomez, and then let's see what Greater Tomorrow will be able to do about this. But I mean, it is going to be difficult for them looking at the composition of the players in Berewuleng. Though for that of Greater Tomorrow side as well, they also have so many good players within their mix who have played for the Gambia under 20 already. Both teams have quite a good number of players that represented the Gambia in the under 20. So that alone, with the qualities in both sides, you know that the game is going to be a very beautiful and also a tough encounter between the two, irrespective of the league that they are playing. Berewuleng is in the first division, with a fine form, and then they are yet to lose a game into this season, while that of the Greater Tomorrow side are also on a very good run of form in the second division for the women's category in the GFF division. So it is going to be a great game between the two sides, and already the performance that we have seen from both sides in the first 5 minutes have already manifested that it is going to be a very tough encounter between the two sides here. But let's see what happens here. Whether it has to be the first division side Berewuleng, who are currently leading here by a lone goal to nil, or it has to come from that of the second division side, that is Greater Tomorrow side, to at least come from behind and then try to upset the Berewuleng side bar.
That's going to be an attack coming from Greater Tomorrow Football Club. Can they find the back of the net? And definitely very close. Unfortunately, missing the Mendy. Failed to capitalize. That's also another brilliant start coming from the girls in red and black. Greater Tomorrow Football Club. And the team is currently trailing by a goal to nil against Berewuleng Football Club. And Berewuleng got the goal courtesy of the leading goal scorer and centre forward Elaine Gomez. Of course, Elaine is part of the national under-20. Of course, played in the home and away fixture against Ivory Coast. It's a goal kick to Berewuleng Football Club. Diminga Mendy is the trusted goalkeeper. Diminga Mendy to Abimari Sambo, trying to connect the run of Mariama Sise. Mariama deployed on the right side of the defense for Berewuleng Football Club. And Ude Koli is now being deployed in an offensive position for Greater Tomorrow Football Club. Ude Koli is also part of the players in the women's or the national under-20, alongside Elizabeth Ndeke, Misinda Mendy and Mariama Balde for Greater Tomorrow Football Club. And Greater Tomorrow and it is already an advantage to Berewuleng Football Club, leading by a goal to nil courtesy of centre forward Elaine Gomez. And Elaine is currently the leading goal scorer for Berewuleng, already bagged 8 goals in this year's GFF Women's Division 1. Elaine Gomez chases forward, and she is currently having it tough against Fanta Mane. Fanta is one of the defenders, and Berewuleng will start the play from their own half. Kadi Sanyang to the goalkeeper Diminga Mendy. Diminga back to Kadi Sanyang. Kadi is one of the trusted players in the women's under-20, alongside a good number of players for Berewuleng Football Club under the guidance of Fakeba Sen, and Fakeba having the assistance of Modlamin Nyase. And it is currently 1-0 in their favour. Berewuleng leading by a goal to nil, and also leading the chart of the GFF Women's Division 1. Currently Berewuleng Football Club leading the chart, and they are yet to taste a defeat this season. Berewuleng Football Club is still unbeaten. Berewuleng Football Club in the top flight. Of course, played 13 matches, won 10, drew 3 and lost none, currently with 33 points. It is Greater Tomorrow who launched that ball forward, partly cleared by Abimari Sambo. Kumba Kasama just there to cut that ball out. It's going to be the turn of Wude now. Wude deployed in an offensive position, getting that ball forward this time around. Never troubled the goalkeeper. Of course, he is undoubtedly the finest and the best player, of course, for Greater Tomorrow Football Club. Wude Koli 10. And he also doubled as the team captain for Greater Tomorrow, and the team under the guidance of Peter and Mendy. And Peter is having the assistance of Abdullah Jalo. Currently, Berewuleng 1. Elaine Gomez with the goal. Kadi Sanyang. It's going to be an attack from the girls in blue and black. Berewuleng Football Club, Abimari Sambo. This time dropping that ball for Ajajaba. Great control team captain Kumba Kasama. Kumba lost possession. It is now the turn of Elizabeth Ndeki, who has already scored 18 goals so far this season. And Elizabeth is also part of the national under-20. Of course, the women team. Elizabeth Ndeki trying to go solo, looking for options, trying to use her pace on the far side. Will she be able to? Already dispossessed by Kadi Sanyang on the far side. Elaine Gomez, who scored the only goal so far, drops deep, trying to track back. Berewuleng trying to launch, and already is a throw-in on the far side. It's a throw-in on the far side for Greater Tomorrow Football Club, and the central referee, of course, is Mariama Ofal. Sena Bucham is one of the assistants Keba Mari and Lamin Damfa is the fourth assistant referee. From the Boxbar Mini Stadium in Brikama, of course, is the Brikama Derby and also the West Coast Derby in women's football. Of course, the Women's FF Cup, round of 16 between Greater Tomorrow and Berewuleng Football Club. And Greater Tomorrow, of course, playing in the top flight, advanced to the round of 16, whilst Greater Tomorrow played the round of 32 before, heading to the round of 16. Around the area, Mariama Sise just there in time to cut that ball out for Berewuleng Football Club. And Greater Tomorrow in the round of 32 got the better of Jog on Lioness by 4 goals to nil. Taking spot in the fixture at Football Club. Ude Koli playing that ball short, caught out by Berewuleng. Mariama Balde failing to keep that ball in play. And Balde is also one of those players in the women's national under 20. It's going to be a throw in Mariama Sise, fondly called MC. MC is the right back, the trusted right back for Berewuleng Football Club. Mariama Sise once again trying to connect the run of Aja Jabang, and the final touch on Jabang Aja, and Aja is being penalized by the flag of the assistant referee on the other end, and it's a throw in for Greater Tomorrow Football Club. And Greater Tomorrow, just as I said, is that a foul throw? Of course, yes. That's a foul throw. That's a foul throw. And Berewuleng in the last 5 fixtures played in the league got the better of Koita FC 5-0. Drew 1-1 against Red Scorpions. Of course, the defending champions defeated Ficho B by 6 goals to nil. Drew against Police 1-1 and got the better of Brikama United 2-0. And this time around at the Boxbar Mini Stadium once again, this time it is the Women's FF Cup. And Sarah Jaju is penalized. Jaju Sarah is also part of the national under 20 and was also part of the team that traveled to Germany alongside Ude Koli. And she is part of the team called Girls Can Play Football, if we may get it right. And Sarah Jaju and Ude Koli are part of those players that traveled to Germany for the championship. Back in the country and playing in their respective clubs, it is Berewuleng 1, Greater Tomorrow 0. Berewuleng playing in the top flight, whilst Greater Tomorrow in the second tier, hoping to secure promotion to the top flight of Gambian women's football. Greater Tomorrow, of course, currently second on the GFF Women's Division 2, of course, on the table standing. It is Fortune Football Club leading the table with 32. Greater Tomorrow on 29. Armed Forces 28. City Girls on 26. Quintes 25. Lower Nyomi on 6 with 24. Prison 7 with 22. Mansa Wali 8 with 20 points. Jumama 9 with 20. Dabos FC 10 with 15. Young Icons on 11 with 13. Jog on Lioness Rock Bottom with only 3 points. And Jog on Lioness, things aren't going well for them. And Berewuleng leading the GFF Women's Division 1 with 33 points. TMT second with 33. Red Scorpions third with 32. Police fourth with 25. Brikama United fifth with 16. Immigration sixth with 14. Koita seventh with 13. Yakar 8 with 12 points. Ficho B 9th with 7. Joshua United on 10th with 2 points. And currently the GFF Women's Division 1 seems to be a 3-horse race between Berewuleng Football Club, TMT, and of course Red Scorpions. Red Scorpions have been the defending champions in the last 3 editions. Of course, the last 3 years it has been Red Scorpions, Red Scorpions, Red Scorpions. Of course, it has also been Berewuleng as runners-up, and also as runners-up. And currently, they are the runners-up in the league and also runners-up in the Women's FF Cup. Berewuleng Football Club got defeated by Red Scorpions in the final of the Women's FF Cup at the Boxbar Mini Stadium. And currently, they are the runners-up of the FF Cup and also runners-up of the Division 1. Of course, runners-up to the defending champions, Red Scorpions Football Club. And this year, Kemo, it might be their season. If they are able to win the rest of their games, they will definitely be crowned champions, Berewuleng Football Club.
Yes, very well. And they will be eyeing that because last year you can see the way they played in the GFF Male Division 1 for the Women Division 1. They come second to that of the Red Scorpion side, who also managed to beat them in the FF Cup, in the Women's FF Cup final here in Brikama. So for them as of now, I mean, they are yet to lose a game this season. So they will be hoping with that strength, and also that spirit will be with them as they move in towards the ending of this particular season. So and I believe they have the qualities to do that, because we have seen Red Scorpion were doing that in the past 3 years. So Bere as well were the team that were seriously contending against them. So coming into this year as well, that could have been another goal from Elen, but see squandered that one over the crossbar. And as I was saying, I mean, they were runners up to Red Scorpion side last season in both the league and FF Cup for this for the women. So this season they are yet to lose a game. So with that spirit and confidence in this Berewuleng side, I believe they can also manage to at least to win the double this season with the qualities that we have seen them, and also with the performance that they are manifesting on the pitch. And then that consistency, you need to be very much consistent if you are to win a league or whatever trophy that you are playing in, and Berewuleng are currently having that consistency in them. So let's see how the season will end up with this performance that they are moving forward. But I believe they have the qualities, and also they have the confidence to win the double this season. So but let's see what happens here before this particular match ends, because this is another game that they must win for them to be able to win the double this season.
It is Elen Gomez once again, scored the first goal and only goal. And this time around it's going to be a corner on the far side, as pointed by the central referee Mariama Ofal. Ude or Elen Gomez is currently down injured, and will now need the assistance of the medics. And the medics are already on the pitch, and they will be there to assist Elen Gomez. And Elen is the current leading goal scorer for Berewuleng Football Club. She has already bagged 8 goals so far this season. And the closest to Elen Gomez is team captain Kumba Kasama. Kasama has already scored 6 goals so far in this year's GFF Women's Division 1. And Elen Gomez is currently down. This will also give the opportunity to the technical team of Greater Tomorrow Football Club to have a brief discussion with their players. The head coach Peter N. Mendy and the assistant Abdullah Jallo are very busy on the technical area, giving instructions to their players. It is currently Greater Tomorrow 0, Berewuleng 1. Elen Gomez with the only goal. Kumba Kasama will get that corner for the girls in black and blue. Berewuleng Football Club dressed in blue and black shorts, blue and black shorts and white socks. And Berewuleng, under the guidance of Fake Basen, is currently leading the GFF Women's Division 1. Of course, leading the chart with 33 points, closely monitored by TMT on second. Third is Red Scorpions in the GFF Women's Division 2. Fortune Football Club leading the chart. Second is Greater Tomorrow Football Club on second. Decently effected, this time to the gloves of the goalkeeper Mariama Jallo. Elen Gomez is already out, but we believe she will be reintroduced shortly. Currently having assistance from the medics. And currently Elen Gomez's goal is the current difference between Berewuleng and Greater Tomorrow in the Brikama and West Coast Derby at the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama. Both sides are from Brikama, of course. Greater Tomorrow is a Brikama-based club, equally Berewuleng Football Club. Berewuleng playing in the top flight, Greater Tomorrow in the second tier. Berewuleng hoping to win the league for the first time this season under the noses of Red Scorpions and TMT. Equally, Greater Tomorrow will definitely want to secure promotion this season alongside Fortune Football Club. Will they be able to get it? Of course, is the biggest ambition. But this afternoon, the fixture is, of course, the Women's FF Cup, round of 16, and the winner will advance to the last 8. Is it going to be Berewuleng or Greater Tomorrow? Of course, is the biggest ambition for both sides. But currently, advantage Berewuleng, leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of Elen Gomez. Elen will be reintroduced shortly. Elen back on her feet and back on the pitch once again. And Elen Gomez, the under-20 forward, alongside some other players for Berewuleng Football Club. Lost 1-0 to Ivory Coast before losing heavily 5-0 in Ivory Coast. And the players are currently back in the league. Elen Gomez for Berewuleng, Diminga Mendy for Berewuleng Football Club, Kadi Sanyang, Sarah Jaju, Kumba Kasama and Rebecca Mendy For Greater Tomorrow Football Club is Wude Koli, team captain. Elizabeth Ndeki, the forward, and Elizabeth has already scored 18 goals so far this season. Misinda Mende and Mariama Balde. And of course, it is 4 players for Greater Tomorrow Football Club. Whilst we have 6 players for Berewuleng, of course, the national under-20 is dominated by the players of Berewuleng Football Club. There is a player down injured once again for Berewuleng, and the medics are already on the pitch once again to give assistance, and the game is temporarily stopped. Probably this will serve as an opportunity for the technicians to have discussions briefly with their players. Ilen Gomez having a discussion with Faki Basen and his assistant Modlamin Nyase, and equally Sarah Jajo. Sarah lost the first game against Ivory Coast in Banjul, but was part of the traveling team that traveled to Ivory Coast in the return leg alongside Wude Koli of Greater Tomorrow Football Club. The player back on her feet, Abimari Sambu for Berewuleng Football Club. Abimari Sambu is currently back on her feet. Sarah Jajo was part of the contingent that traveled to Germany for the tournament alongside Wude Koli, great control team captain. It's the captain against captain. Wude Koli against Kumba Kasama. Wude trying to go solo, looking for options, launches that ball forward. This time caught out by the central defender Kadisanya. That was definitely a great delivery coming from team captain Wude Koli, under 20. Wude Koli around the area, trying to test the goalkeeper from distance, but that wouldn't trouble the goalkeeper Diminga Mendy. Sarah Jaju will chase. She is indeed a pacey player, a pacey centre forward, and this time Teresa Silva rewarded by the central referee. And the referee is, of course, Mariama Ofal. Sena Bucham is one of the assistants. Keba Mari and Lamin Damfa serving as the 4th assistant referee from the Boxbar Mini Stadium, of course, in Brikama. And the ground is currently hosting the GFF Women's FF Cup. Of course, the round of 16 between Berewuleng Football Club and Greater Tomorrow. Of course, they are all Brikama-based clubs. Greater Tomorrow still playing in the 2nd tier, whilst Berewuleng in the top flight is the centre forward Misinda, who is part of the national under-20. Back to the central defender Silva, trying to dribble past one. Misinda playing that ball short, caught out by Kumba Kasama. This is Sarah Jajo who floats that ball forward. Aja Jabang is penalized by the flag of the assistant referee. And Aja Jabang is one of the experienced players for Berewuleng Football Club, currently on the number 10 for coach Fakeba Sen and his girls. It is Aja Jabang penalized. And in case you're just joining us, it is just a reminder that we're coming to you live from the Boxbar Mini Stadium. Abimari Sambu is definitely very busy, trying to outmark Wude Koli. And this time Wude wrestled and rewarded by the central referee, Abimari Sambu, just there in time. She is very much aware with the dangers of Wude Koli. Wude being the best player for the club. It's almost everywhere. And she can definitely play in most of the positions, in a defensive position, in the midfield, and also in offensive positions. And she's going to take this delivery. Kumba Kasama is the only player on the wall for Berewuleng Football Club. We believe Wude will try to test the goalkeeper from distance. Launches that ball forward, never trouble the custodian Diminga Mendy. And in case you're just joining us, you are reminded that we're coming to you live from the Boxbar Mini Stadium in the Brikama Derby of the Women's FF Cup. Of course, it is the round of 16 between Greater Tomorrow Football Club and Berewuleng, and currently Berewuleng leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of Ilen Gomez. This time around, Kadi Sanyang. Player Rasul. This is in Kadi Sanyang. We have to confirm that shortly. That Murida Cafe. Rebecca Mendy. Rebecca back on her feet. And Berewuleng is starting with Diminga Mendy in goal as usual. Mariama Sise, Abimari Sambu, Kadi Sanyang, Ilen Gomez, Sarah Jaju, Aja Jabang, Kumba Kasama, Rebecca Mendy, Fatu Jata and Murida Cafe. And the team is under the guidance of Fakeba Sen and assisted by Modlamin Nyase. Greater Tomorrow, another Brikama based club, is starting with Mariama Jalo in goal, Wude Koli, Teresa Silva, Sajo Ture, Yasina Sise, Juba Koli Fantamane, Mariama Baji, Elizabeth Ndeki, Misinda Mendy and Mariama Balde. This is going to be an attack coming from Berewuleng, caught out by the central defender, of course, Teresa Silva. Just there in time to cut that ball out, coming from Berewuleng Football Club. It is going to be an opportunity for Greater Tomorrow to build an attack, but unfortunately lost it. It's going to be a throw-in on the far side, and Rebecca Mendy will benefit. Gets that ball to Aja Jabang. Aja dispossessed by Greater Tomorrow on the far side, and the player Yassina Sise just there in time to cut that ball out. It's going to be a throw-in on the far side, and it is the Brikama derby at the Boxbar Mini Stadium in women's football. Sarah Jaju trying to control that ball, and it's a goal kick as pointed by the central referee Mariama Ofal. Mariama Ofal is the referee. Senabu Cham the assistant. Keba Mari and Lamin Damfa serving as the fourth assistant referee. Berewuleng leading by a goal to nil, and leading courtesy of Sarah or Elen Gomez. Elen Gomez scored the only goal, and Elen's goal is the current difference between Berewuleng and Greater Tomorrow. Elen trying to go solo, wrestled and rewarded by the central referee, and it's an advantage for Berewuleng. Kumba Kasama will solely deliver. Currently scored 6 goals in the league so far, whilst Elen Gomez has already bagged 8 goals. Will Berewuleng be able to get the trophy under the noses of TMT and Red Scorpions for the first time? Of course, it's the biggest ambition for head coach Fake Basen and the girls, and it is a possibility, and the team is currently leading, of course, leading the chart with 33 points. It's a set piece. Kumba Kasama, team captain, will get this. It's the Brikama derby at the Boxbar Mini Stadium in the Women's FF Cup, round of 16. Kumba Kasama floats that, this time partly caught out by Teresa Silva. Abimari Sambu floats that, this time never troubled the goalkeeper. And the goalkeeper alert enough, Mariama Jalo, to get that ball for Greater Tomorrow Football Club. And it is currently Greater Tomorrow nil, Berewuleng 1. Will Berewuleng be able to hold on, or will they be able to score more and more goals? Or are we going to see Berewuleng or Greater Tomorrow coming from a goal down to secure a victory and also possibly have the chance to advance to the round of or the final 8? Remains the ambition for the club. But is it a possibility? If they want to do that, they have to get the better of Berewuleng Football Club. The team currently leading by a goal to nil, courtesy of Elen Gomez, who they call in now, trying to dribble past a group of players. This time around, the number 14 for Berewuleng Football Club, Rebecca Mendy. Or this time it is Fatu Jata. Fatu Jata wrestled and rewarded by the central referee. Rebecca Mendy. Flag up against Aja Jabang. Aja Jabang penalized. Berewuleng on the advantage, leading by a goal to nil. The team just need to hold on, whilst Greater Tomorrow needs to score if they want to secure a victory here. And if we are able to get a winner, it's going to be a side that is able to score, either able to hold on or get more goals in this game between Berewuleng and Greater Tomorrow. Already Berewuleng on the advantage. Would they call it? Back to the advancing player. It's a defensive mission coming from Greater Tomorrow. Mariama Sise lost it. This time it's going to be Elizabeth Ndeke. Back to the advancing player who floats that ball forward. Abimari Sambo. Abimari heads back to the left back. Greater Tomorrow now. Can they get that ball? It is Berewuleng now who regain possession. Kumba Kasama floats that ball forward. Elen Gomez chases. It's going to be a defensive work coming from the central defender Teresa Silva. And Teresa is also another defender working so hard for Greater Tomorrow Football Club, and the team trail by a goal to nil. Team captain Kumba Kasama will deliver yet another corner. It's another corner for the girls in blue and black. Kumba Kasama is part of the national under 20. Lost to Ivory Coast at home and also heavily away. Kumba Kasama is currently on the ball, preparing to deliver this corner for the Brikama base club Berewuleng. And of course it's a Brikama derby. Kumba Kasama floats that ball forward. Can they trouble this Berewuleng or Greater Tomorrow side? Greater Tomorrow, Juba Koli alert enough to clear that ball desperately. And it's going to be a throw-in on the far side. Aja Jabang, one of the experienced players for Berewuleng Football Club, will surely get that. And Berewuleng will rely on Rebecca Mendy. Rebecca, also part of the national under 20. This is Abimari Sambo. And of course, Abimari Sambo is one of the most hard-working players for Berewuleng Football Club and possibly one of the most underrated players in the league, but doing a fantastic job. And already Khadijatu Drame is also part of the national under-20, but isn't part of the starting 11 this afternoon at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Currently, Berewuleng leading by a goal to nil. Kemo Kanyi, of course, Greater Tomorrow needs to score. If they don't score, of course, it's going to be an advancement for Berewuleng Football Club and the team that is currently leading by a goal to nil. Elen Gomez scored the only goal, and Elen's goal is currently the difference between this Brikama-based club.
Very well, a much slower game since the goal has been registered by the Berewuleng side, but nonetheless it has been a great game from both sides, because I mean the way they are playing now, I believe Bere, they are trying to play and also having at the back of their mind that yes, we need to as well go for a goal, but the most important thing is to protect this particular goal that we have scored, and then indeed they are doing that very well as for now, since they have taken the lead from that Elen Gomez goal. So for that of Greater Tomorrow side, they are also pushing since they were down by a lone goal to nil into this particular game. That was in the early part of the game. In the first 4 minutes, we have seen a goal being scored by Elen, and that goal continues to be the difference between these two sides here. So, but let's see what happens here. It's a derby. It's never an easy game. Whichever team is playing in a derby plays very well and gives a lot of energy in trying to making sure that they win that particular derby that they are playing in. And said. And this game is not an exception to those difficult derbies that we expect teams to be playing in. So when you are playing a derby, it's always a very different game part.
It's going to be another attack. This time it is Sarah Jajo. Can they get the second goal? And this time around, Berewuleng into the bottom corner. And it's a goal for Berewuleng Football Club. Of course, the second goal. This time it is the turn of Sarah Jajo. Sarah Jaju, the goal scorer, scored the second goal for the Brikama base club. Of course, they are all Brikama clubs. Berewuleng Football Club leading by 2 goals to nil. The first goal, courtesy of Elen Gomez, and Sarah Jaju scored the second to give the 2-0 advantage to Berewuleng Football Club over Greater Tomorrow Football Club. Kemo Kanye, it is the second goal for Berewuleng Football Club, currently leading by 2 goals to nil, and they are getting closer and closer in reaching the final 8 of the Women's FF Cup. Of course, they ended up as runners-up against Red Scorpions last season, and this time around, will they be able to get the trophy under the noses of Greater Tomorrow? Will they be able to get the trophy under the noses of Red Scorpions? And TMT remains the ambition, currently getting closer in reaching the final 8 as far as the Women's FF Cup is concerned, currently leading by 2 goals to nil against Greater Tomorrow at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, of course in the Brikama and West Coast Derby.
Yes, I believe they can win the double in the eyes of Red Scorpion and of course TMT. So you need to win your games to be able to win trophies, and then indeed they are doing that with a style very well. So coming into this particular game, you can see the way this particular goal also came in. Sarah Jaju went had a very beautiful run and then places the ball in the bottom corner for its team to increase their advantage to a 2-0 score line. So currently it is going to be a very difficult game for that of the Greater Tomorrow side. So at least get themselves any positive thing into this particular game, because when you are playing against a team, especially a team that has more experienced players than you, and a team that is more experienced than you are, and then playing a team like Berewuleng, who are currently leading the first division chart for the women, and then in the eyes of TMT and that of the Red Scorpion, who were winning this women division 1 for 3 times in a row. So leading those ones there, and then the form that Berewuleng is currently is currently going on in the first division. That tells you a lot about this Berewuleng side, and also the ambition that they have for this particular season. You can see they with this goal perhaps it may give them the way to the quarter-final, and then with that you need to win from the last 8, and then you go to the semi-final, and then you play the final. So I believe they need to, after winning this particular game, then you have the last 8 and then semi-final and then the final 3 more games for them to be crowned champions in this FF Cup final. So now I believe they have this confidence in them, and also the belief that yes, we are yes, we can win any other team that we played against, because we are yet to lose a game into this season. So with that confidence in a team, it is always very, very positive for a team to be going on with such confidence in trying to making sure that they register what they want to register. And I believe, leading the first division chart for the women, and again playing against a team in the second division that is currently occupying the third spot, and then in the first half winning them by 2-0. That alone is a very, very good move for the Berewuleng side. But nonetheless, all the respect to that of the Greater Tomorrow side, they are also putting emphatic performance into this particular game. Since the start of the game, we have seen the way they are ready for this particular game, and then the way they are competing against this Berewuleng side in this particular game. So it is also a very, very respectable performance from the Greater Tomorrow side. So let's see what happens here. We are still in the first half, and then Berewuleng is leading by 2-0. So so long the game continues to play, there is always a very, very good chance for every other team to win as long as the game currently moves. But currently Berewuleng is leading by 2-0, and then they are currently eyeing the last 8 of this FF Women's Cup.
Thank you very much, Kim Okanyi. Lively game, great contest between the Brikama based clubs, Berewuleng and Greater Tomorrow. Berewuleng is a top tier club, whilst Greater Tomorrow playing in the second tier. It is currently Berewuleng 2, Greater Tomorrow 0. Berewuleng got their noses in front, courtesy of Elaine Gomez and Sarah Jaju. Elaine broke the deadlock in the very first minutes of the first period, before Sarah Jaju getting the second to give the 2-0 commanding advantage to coach Fakeba Sen and his girls. Berewuleng leading by 2-0 against a side under the guidance of Peter Enmendi, Greater Tomorrow Football Club. This time Abimari Sambo, and already it's a throw-in on the far side. It's a throw-in on the far side for Greater Tomorrow, dressed in red shorts, black shorts and red socks, whilst Berewuleng Football Club in black and blue shorts, black shorts and white socks. Berewuleng under the guidance of Fakeba Sen. Fakeba is having the assistance of Modlamin Nyasi as his immediate assistant. And the way things are going, of course, Berewuleng Football Club will be heading to the last 8 until and unless something dramatic happens. This time around it is Berewuleng or Greater Tomorrow around the area. Elizabeth Ndeke, Elaine Gomez trying to get that ball off the area. Already blocked to touch by Mariama Balde. Mariama is one of the smallest players, but also one of the most energetic players. She was part of the national under-20. Mariama Balde for Greater Tomorrow. Also other players, of course, there is a player down injured on the far side. There is a player down, and that seems to be Juba Koli. Juba is currently down. We have to confirm that is in Juba. We have to get those confirmations shortly. We have to get the confirmation shortly. The player is currently down and is also far from our commentary cabin. We thought it was Juba, but it isn't Juba now. Probably it's going to be an early substitution. Hopefully we're going to see an early substitution coming from Greater Tomorrow Football Club. And currently there is a player being prepared to be introduced by coach Peter Enmendi. Peter, of course, is the head coach for Greater Tomorrow and currently very busy on the technical area, giving instructions to his girls. Likewise, his assistant Abdullah Jallo. It is still 2-0 against Greater Tomorrow. Penda Balde Sam is being prepared to be introduced. Who is he going to replace? Of course, it's Fanta Mane. Fanta is currently being supported by the medics on the far side. Penda Balde Sam introduced and replaced the injured player Fanta Mane. And it's an early substitution, a first half substitution for head coach Peter N. Mendy and his girls. Greater Tomorrow trail 2-0 against Berewuleng at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. And the 2 goals, courtesy of Vilen and Nasara Jajo. Mariama Sise will get that. A long one from the marauding right back, Mariama Sise. It is Aja Jabang now. Can they get something from this? And already the flag is up. Up against Aja Jabang. Jabang Aja 10. Berewuleng Football Club under the guidance of Fake Basen. Sitting on top of the GFF Women's Division 1. Of course, sitting on top of the table with 33 points. Closely monitored by TMT on 33 as well. Red Scorpions on 32. The defending champions of the league and the FF Cup. Police on 4th with 25. Brikama United on 5th with 16. Immigration 6 with 14. Koita 7 with 13 points. Yakar Football Club. Of course, a debut season for the C4 base club. Yakar on 8 with 12 points. Ficho B 9th with 7. Josuang United currently rock bottom 10th with 2 points in the second tier of women's football, where we have Greater Tomorrow, Fortune and Co. any moment from now. Probably we might be seeing the final moments of the first half. Berewuleng leading by 2-0 against Greater Tomorrow. In the second tier of women's football, Fortune Football Club leading the table with 32 points, closely monitored by Greater Tomorrow on 2nd with 29. Armed Forces third with 28. City Girls on 4th with 26. Quintes on 5th with 25. Lower Nyomi 6th with 24. Prison 7 with 22. Mansawali 8 with 20. Jumama 9 with 20. Dabos FC is currently 10th with 15. Young Icons 11 with 13. Jog on Lioness on bottom of the table with only 3 points. It is a lively contest. Misinda is also another fantastic player for the national. Misinda launches that ball forward. Rebecca Odeminga Mende just there in time. She's also another national under 20 goalkeeper, Wude Koli, and Wude rewarded by the central referee Mariama Ofal. Wude is a fantastic player, and of course we have a lot of great players for Greater Tomorrow and also Berewuleng Football Club. Of course, national under 20 players. Wude Koli been asked to leave the ball for the defensive players. Mariama Balde is going to take this. Another under 20 player. Balde Mariama was part of the team that played in Banjul and also the team that played in Ivory Coast. Aja Jabang. Aja lost possession briefly. Greater Tomorrow now. It's going to be an opportunity. Fatu Jata. Jata Fatu. In block on the far side by Mariama Balde. And it's a throw in for Balde. Red Scorpions, did I say Red Scorpions? It is Greater Tomorrow. Greater Tomorrow Football Club desperately in need of an equalizer. Will they be able to get it? Of course, it's the biggest ambition and also the biggest question. The team trailed by 2-0 against the Brikama Base Club. Another Brikama Base Club to be precise. Berewuleng Football Club. Berewuleng 2, Greater Tomorrow 0. Elizabeth Ndeke. It's going to be once again Greater Tomorrow. Wude Koli, Elizabeth trying to test the goalkeeper from distance. And this wouldn't trouble the goalkeeper. Kemo Kanye, time running out, of course, in the first period. Probably Berewuleng Football Club might be heading back into the tunnel, leading by 2-0. Unless if we are able to have a goal from Greater Tomorrow, who trail by 2-0 at the box bar in the Brikama and West Coast Derby.
Yes, Pa, we are already in the 44th minute into this particular game here in the first half. So for them, they know they are very much aware of the timing, especially the technical benches, and in fact the players know very well that the time for the first half is not favorable on our side for that of the Greater Tomorrow side. While the Berewuleng side will be hoping to end this particular first half with this 2-0 lead here, and then they are working very hard to at least secure this first half win by this particular score line, while that of the Greater Tomorrow side will be hoping to at least reduce the deficit for this game, and then let's see what happens here, whether it has to be that of the leaders Berewuleng to go to the tunnel with this 2-0 lead, or are we going to see Greater Tomorrow reducing deficit before the first half ends here? So, but it's going to be very difficult the way the game is playing. You can sense that Berewuleng will be going to the tunnel with this particular score line, because the way they are approaching this game, they are not letting it easy for the Greater Tomorrow side to at least get themselves anything into this. And then they are more experienced when it comes to this particular tournament, and also for the level that they are playing in, that is the first division, is higher than that of the second division. But nonetheless, that is not an excuse so long they are playing in different leagues, but they will be playing in the same FF Cup, and then with that, a performance can lead you to a victory, and then all the performance that will lead you to a victory here, we have seen Berewuleng doing that very well in trying to making sure that they go home with the victory here to book their place in the quarter, in the last 8 of this FF Cup for women. So with that, if they win again from the last 8, they will be proceeding to the semi-finals. Then thereafter, see themselves in the final if they win again. For the Greater Tomorrow side, they will need to score at least 2 goals here without Berewuleng adding up their advantage, and then to get themselves any meaningful result into this, because without winning in the FF Cup, meaning you are booted out. So they are very much aware of that. They are prepared before coming into this particular game. Yes, we must win for us to advance to the next stage, and Berewuleng is the team that is doing that very well.
Third goal, and that's the third goal for Sarah Jajo. And Sarah rose the highest and not home the third goal for Berewuleng Football Club moments before half time. It is currently Berewuleng 3, Greater Tomorrow 0. Sarah Jaju already with a brace. Sarah Jaju rose the highest not home to get the third goal for Berewuleng Football Club, and it is currently Berewuleng 3, Greater Tomorrow 0. Berewuleng Football Club, of course, getting closer to the final moments of the first period, leading by 3 goals to 0, and coach Fakeba Sen and his girls are currently getting closer in getting a spot in the final 8 of the Women's FF Cup, currently leading by 3 goals to 0 against Greater Tomorrow Football Club. Diminga Mendy just there in time to cut that ball out. Diminga is the custodian, is the goalkeeper for Berewuleng Football Club. Time running out, of course, the very first period. Berewuleng enjoying every moment, leading by 3 goals to 0. Aja Jabang around the center, Abimari Sambo. It's going to be Mariama Balde on the far side. Balde Mariama deployed on the right side of the defense. Greater Tomorrow struggling around the area. Berewuleng Football Club regained possession, not for too long. It is now the turn of Kumba Kasama. Tumbak trying to connect the run of Elen Gomez, caught out by the central defender who was just there in time to cut that ball out. Elizabeth Ndeke trying to connect the run of Wude Koli. Kumba Kasama squares that ball on the far side. Aja Jabang, the flag of the assistant referee, is still down. And Aja Jabang failing to keep that ball in play on the far side. It's a goal kick to the girls in red and black. Greater Tomorrow thrilled by 3 goals to 0 at the Boxbar Mini Stadium in the Brikama and West Coast Derby of the GFF Women's FF Cup. Of course, the round of 16, and the winner will advance to the quarter-final. Quarter-final, of course, the final 8. And in the round of 32, in the Women's FF Cup, it was Greater Tomorrow 4, Jog on Lioness 0. And Greater Tomorrow advanced to the round of 16 to battle it out with fellow Brikama side or Brikama based club Berewuleng Football Club. And this afternoon, Berewuleng getting the advantage, leading by 4 goals to 0, or 3 goals to 0 rather, getting all the 3 in the first period. Berewuleng got 3 goals so far, and possibly they will be heading back to the tunnel with the 3-0 advantage if Greater Tomorrow isn't able to score. But anyway, it is Greater Tomorrow 0, Berewuleng 3. Elizabeth Ndeke. Ndeke, the leading goal scorer, lost possession to the leading goal scorer of Berewuleng Football Club, Elen Gomez. As the leading goal scorer against a fellow leading goal scorer. Elizabeth Ndeke scored 18 goals this season, whilst Elen Gomez scored scored 6 or 8 rather in the league, and already scored 1 in the FF Cup. And she has already scored 9 goals so far. 8 goals in the league and 1 in the FF Cup. Uday Kohli will get that. Kumba Kasama having a discussion with the central referee. Of course, the referee is Mariama Ofal. Uday Kohli, is that going to be a yellow card? Yes, that's a yellow card. Kumba Kasama, so a yellow by the central referee Mariama Ocham or Mariama Ofal. We believe Kumba must have protested. Anyway, the central referee dashed out a yellow to Kumba Kasama team captain. Would they call it to take this? Would they trying to test the goalkeeper from distance? Diminga Mendy, just there in time on his white and black colors. And that's the half-time whistle, and it is half-time at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Of course, half-time between Berewuleng and Greater tomorrow in the Brikama and West Coast Derby of the Women's FF Cup, and it is half-time. Berewuleng leading by 3 goals to nil. Broke the deadlock courtesy of Elen Gomez before Sarah Jaju getting a brace to give the 3-0 advantage to coach Fakeba Sen and his girls. And it is half-time. Fakeba Sen and the entire technical team and those currently connected to Berewuleng Football Club must be loving all that they have already seen at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Of course, their side leading by 3 goals to nil and getting closer in getting a spot in the final 8. Of course, the quarter-final of the Women's FF Cup. Berewuleng 3, Greater Tomorrow nil is the current score at the Box Bar Mini Stadium at half-time. Of course, at the commentary cabin for LSTV1, it has been Parliament Fati Kim Okanyi, and behind camera operations is Osman Kamara. Until then, do join us in the next 15 for the continuation. Welcome back to the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama for the continuation of the live commentary, of course, in the GFF Women's FF Cup. The round of 16 between Berewuleng Football Club and Greater Tomorrow. Berewuleng leading 3-0 against Greater Tomorrow Football Club. Berewuleng scored thrice in the first period, and it is just the commencement of the second half between these Brikama-based clubs. Of course, these Brikama-based clubs of Berewuleng and Greater Tomorrow. Berewuleng broke the deadlock courtesy of Elen Gomez before Sarah Jaju, getting a brace to give the advantage for coach Fakeba Sen and his girls. Of course, in case you are just joining us, you are reminded that we still coming to you live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium. It is the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama in the Women's FF Cup. The commencement of the second half. It is currently Berewuleng 3, Greater Tomorrow 0. Greater Tomorrow need to score, not only to score, but they need to score thrice if they want to advance or possibly have any chance of advancing to the final 8. They want to do that, they have to score and score again, and possibly to score again if they want to secure a spot. Currently, Berewuleng leading the advantage, leading by 3-0. Sarah Jaju already scored a brace. Lays that ball on the far side. Aja Jabang flutes that ball forward, this time into the gloves of the goalkeeper Mariama Jallo. Jallo, the custodian for Berewuleng. Mariama Balde. Mariama Balde is another incredible lad for Greater Tomorrow Football Club. Dribbled past one, an ambitious player. Mariama Balde, part of the national under-20. Balde was part of the team that played at home to Ivory Coast and also away to Ivory Coast. And the team lost 1-0 in Banjul before losing 5-0 to Ivory Coast in the return leg. On the far side around the area, Greater Tomorrow trying to unlock the defense. Elizabeth Ndeke, the leading goal scorer of this side. This is Wude Kole. Wude trying to test the goalkeeper from distance, and this time wouldn't trouble the goalkeeper. Diminga Mendy, of course, is the custodian, and in case you're just joining us, this is all coming to you live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium in Brikama. Of course, the Brikama and West Coast Derby in women's football. FF Cup, round of 16 between Berewuleng and Greater Tomorrow. And it is just the commencement of the second half. Of course, also coming to you live on LSTV1 at the commentary cabin, Parliament Fati, Kimo Kanyi, and we are also joined by our expert. Of course, we call him the expert, Sidat Kujabi, and he will solely be aiding us as far as the analysis of this great and crucial fixture between Berewuleng and Greater Tomorrow is concerned. And Seh has already joined us, and shortly we will hand the mic to Sidat Kujabi. Of course, we wouldn't allow him to watch key of the minutes here because of course he has been our expert as far as women football is concerned. But before that is an infringement on the far side. Wude Koli is currently on the ball, and after Wude taking that delivery, we will solely hand the mic swiftly to Sidat Kujabi for some reactions as far as this game is concerned. Wude Koli, we believe she will try to test the goalkeeper from distance. Of course, Diminga Mendy is the custodian for Berewuleng. Of course, Berewuleng Football Club trying to assemble the giant wall in trying to protect this set piece coming from Wude. And Wude, of course, is an under-20 player, also part of the contingent of the players that travel to Germany for games. Wude Koli launches that ball forward, never troubled the goalkeeper. His effort sailed over the crossbar. Goal kick, Berewuleng Football Club. Of course, Berewuleng leading by 3-0. Possibly Sidat Kujabi, on paper, many will tell you it was going to be an easy ride for Berewuleng Football Club. Looking at the way the performance they're currently having in the top flight, of course. We believe Berewuleng, of course, is a top flight club, and also Greater Tomorrow playing in the second tier. But we have seen great display of talent, and the last under-20, of course, we've all seen it, predominantly dominated by Berewuleng and Greater Tomorrow. Berewuleng are having up to 6 players or 7 players, whilst Greater Tomorrow having 4 of its players part of the under-20 football club. I think this is definitely developing as far as football in Brikama, most especially women's football.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you very much, Pa. It's nice to be back at where we left it, and this time around is the FF Cup competition between the powerhouse when it comes to female football in West Coast or within Brikama. It has been Berewuleng and Greater Tomorrow all the time. Berewuleng a major force in the first tier, and also Greater Tomorrow who are expecting to earn her qualification into the top tier come this season. Currently they are doing an amazing job when it comes to the second division They have been one of the most dominant forces in the second tier of the women's division. Currently with 14 games they played, and with 2 games in hand to go, they are currently at second. Only, points difference to Fortune, who plays 2 more games, than Greater Tomorrow. So that can tell you this is a team that is definitely on their trajectory of making it to the first tier of the women's division come the next season. But then when it comes to the two sides between Berewuleng and then Greater Tomorrow, it has always been, Berewuleng who always have edge when it comes to head-to-head. Whenever these two sides come face to face against one another, Berewuleng always, emerge as the victorious team whenever the two sides lock horns against one another. But then both teams are doing an amazing job, producing a lot of qualities that are, contributing to their team success, and also to the ever growing success when it comes to the national tier. Like you alluded earlier, these are teams that are produce when it comes to the numbers. The two teams combined, produced 9 out of the 23 that were selected. So that can tell you, this is a team with lot of quality, with lot of depth, within the squad, and then, coming against one another, like many expected, it will be a very, very, interesting game to see how both teams, try to navigate their path to the next stages. But then, as many who are then followers of the Women's League will tell you, at the end of the day, Berewuleng would craft their way to collect the maximum 3 points, because there comes the difference between the first and the second division. There is a difference, and that difference is what Berewuleng are going to rely upon to make sure, they collect the maximum 3 points from this encounter. You can see, Fakewa decided to make, few changes into the starting 11 that normally, start when it comes to the league, bringing the experience Aja Jawang, and then, Fatu Jata, who is one of the most eye-catching and then, possession midfielder for that matter, to have a start in this crucial encounter. While Peter decided to make certain technical switches in the way he set up, in the way how could he miss that, in the way he set up his team, that is bringing the veteran midfielder in the name of Teresa, back to the defensive organization, and then allowing Woody to play a more central role into the midfield. So it's a game, and then the goals, maybe we are yet to see another goal coming, because Mama is coming, and then Kadi Drame. These are important players for the team, and then it's a signal that the Gava is not yet content with the current results, and he has to rely on the bench to bring in a more matured, a more experienced, those who are playing week in, week out, being consistent in the league, to be injected and bring in a more dynamic approach into this game to keep on hunting, to go for more goal scoring opportunities, and then add to their goal tally, because you can see the reason why he is doing that, because this is a team that will never relent. Greater Tomorrow will never relent. They will play to the final whistle of the game, and it can tell you, Peter is going to depend on every arsenal that he has within his disposal. So, it's not a surprise to see Kadi coming in, and then, Fat Jata also being ejected for Mama, and then Kadi Drame, who have been very consistent in the team. But then with Elizabeth Messinda, Woody, Jube, these are players, that can give you the results at any 9 minutes at any moment of the game. So we enjoying. For now, Berewuleng are leading, but we have minutes to play, and anything could happen, Pa.
Anything could happen. This is Ilan Gomez once again. Scored the fourth goal before Sarah Jaju getting the brace. Kumba Kasama team captain with a decent one. Of course, one might say now, this is the Berewuleng 11 that we are very much used to. After the substitution of Ajajabang and Fatu Jata. Fatu Jata and Ajajabang taking off, being replaced by Khadijatu Drame and Mafanta Drame. Khadijatu and Mafanta introduced in the very first minutes of the second period. Berewuleng leading 3-0 at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, of course, in the Brikama and West Coast Derby in the round of 16 of the Women's FF Cup. Ilan Gomez, the current leading goal scorer, already scored 8 in the league, got 1 in the FF Cup, and Kumba Kasama already scored 6 in the league already. Up against Berewuleng Football, or up against Greater Tomorrow in the Women's FF Cup, and the winner will advance. And seemingly it's going to be Berewuleng Football Club until and unless we see something dramatic. This time it is Elizabeth Ndeke trying to connect the run of Missinda up front. This time around, never trouble the goalkeeper, and this time the custodian is Deminga Mendy. Deminga is the custodian. Ilan Gomez, that's a clash between Ilan and the introduced player Penda Balde Sam. Penda Balde came on as a substitute in the first minutes of the first period after an injury to Fantamane, and she is currently down having the assistance of the medics. Berewuleng 3, Greater Tomorrow 0. Berewuleng Football Club getting closer and closer and reaching the final 8 of the Women's FF Cup. They then played the round of 32. Whilst Greater Tomorrow played the preliminaries where they got the better of Jogon Lioness 4-0 before getting a spot in the round of 16 up against Berewuleng Football Club. And the team currently trailed by 3-0. Mariama Balde is going to take that. One of the finest lads, one of the youngest players for Berewuleng Football, for Greater Tomorrow, and part of the national under-20. And we could remember the home game against Ivory Coast at the Independence Stadium. She had a fantastic game. We never had the chance to watch the away fixture against Ivory Coast in Ivory Coast, but the game she had at the Independence Stadium was fantastic. Mafanta Drame gets that ball forward to the pacey Sarah Jajo. And it's a furious technical bench of Berewuleng Football Club. They believe the central referee should have awarded that ball in, and that was going to be an incredible run for the pacey centre forward Sarah Jaju. And Sarah would have used her pace to outpace her marker up front, but unfortunately the central referee decided to award an infringement on the far side to Berewuleng Football Club, and the technicians believe the referee should have awarded that. But anyway, she is the man of the match, of course, given the responsibility to officiate this fixture, and it's going to be an advantage Berewuleng Football Club. Team captain Kumba Kasama will get that. Kumba Kasama, the dead ball specialist. Kumba Kasama floats that ball. Khadijatu Drame lost it. This time it is Abimari Sambo, and it's going to be a run on the far side. But before that, the flag of the assistant referee up against Berewuleng Football Club. Kemo Kanye into the second period of this fixture between Berewuleng Football Club. Currently Berewuleng leading by 3-0, and if they are able to hold on, they will surely advance. Decently cleared by the central defender. Of course, yes, that was definitely timely for Greater Tomorrow Football Club. Of course, we have seen both sides picking it from where they left it. Berewuleng Football Club having the introduction of 2 fresh legs, and also the taking of 2 tired legs, of course, I think will also aid Fakeba Sen and his girls going up front. And also Greater Tomorrow Football Club, we've also seen them up their game in the second period in trying to at least get a goal and possibly have the chance for a comeback. Will that be a possibility? Of course, it's still a possibility, but we have to wait and see for that to happen between Greater Tomorrow and Berewuleng Football Club.
Yes, very well, Pa. I think they will be able to hold on onto this, even though if they are not able to, I mean, advance or out of their advantage here. But I think they wouldn't want to, I mean, see this particular lead going back to that of the Berewuleng, sorry, Greater Tomorrow's end. So, for 3 goals to nil here for that of the Berewuleng side, I believe they have the potential to keep this game to bed until the final minute of this particular important game between them and their rival team, that is Greater Tomorrow side. So nonetheless, I mean, it has been a very good game between the two sides here since the first half, and then coming into the second half as well. They have renewed their fighting spirit in trying to making sure that they advance to the last 8, that is the quarterfinal stage. So for now, Berewuleng already having a foot into that particular level. So for that of the Greater Tomorrow side, they will need a greater job here, meaning to score 3 goals here into this second half without Berewuleng scoring any further goal here to put the game to 3-3, and then perhaps getting themselves to a penalty shootout or whatever comes after that, the 3 goals that they will score without Berewuleng scoring any further goals here. But that is going to be a very difficult game job for them to do, and then will they be able to accomplish that? It is going to be very difficult. I mean, in football everything is possible, but for this other case it is going to be very difficult for them to come back from this 3-0 down and then beat Berewuleng to qualify themselves to the quarterfinal stage of FF Cup for the women. But I mean, respectably, even if they have lost this Greater Tomorrow, I mean, it's a great game that we have seen them played here. It's a great test that we have seen them show to that of the Berewuleng side here. Though Berewuleng plays in the first division, and then they are currently leading that particular team, standing by with the last of TMT and that of the Red Scorpion, who were crowned champions on 3 seasons respectively in a row. So for them to be leading that chart alone, it has been a great fight for them that they have been doing since the start of the league. A team playing up to this level without losing a game, I think that spirit alone is what is keeping Berewuleng, and then what is helping them to win game after game. So for that of Greater Tomorrow side, they are also doing very well, occupying third spot in the second division. So coming here playing against a team that is leading the first division and then currently losing by 3-0 against them. So that alone proves that Greater Tomorrow have been faced with a very difficult contender, and then a very difficult challenger into GFF male division, sorry, GFF FF Cup for the female. So let's see what happens here, whether they will be able to reduce the deficit here. But I'm not seeing them equal in this scoreline here, this 3-0 against this Berewuleng side, because Berewuleng, they are still fighting for it. They are still being given the maximum that the game deserves, so that they will qualify themselves. Because I mean, they wouldn't want to leave any gaps for that of the Greater Tomorrow side, so they will be able to exploit and then punish them with that. So you can see they are still fighting very well to at least protect this 3 goals lead that they are currently having. If they are not able to protect the whole of 3, but at least they will be able to protect at least 2 or one of these 3 goals that they have scored here against the Greater Tomorrow side. So currently Greater Tomorrow having a free kick at a very good position. But let's see, the captain is given the mantle to deliver that for our sides.
Thank you very much, Kemu Kanyi. Earlier on, Sesidat Kujabi, would they call it to take this? It is indeed at a great position for Greater Tomorrow. Can the team have something from this set piece? Of course, might be the ambition. Ude Koli, the under 20 player, Koli Ude, the dead ball specialist for Greater Tomorrow. This time around is a header coming from Mariama Balde, so close, never trouble the goalkeeper. Goal kick, Berewuleng Football Club. And we have seen great tactical switches here in this contest. Solely we will rely on Sesidat Kujabi for some reactions. Anyway, we will surely get the mic to him shortly. This is Kumba Kasama, team captain Kasama, trying to connect the run of Ilen Gomez. Never connect to Ilen, and it's a throw in Mariama Balde to take that. Balde is operating on the right side of the defense for Greater Tomorrow. Balde, who came on as a substitute, caught out, and of course it's going to be an advantage, this time to the girls in red and black. Later tomorrow under the guidance of Peter Nmendi, and Peter is having the assistance of Abdullah Jallo, and the team trail 3-0 against fellow Brikama Base Club Berewuleng under the guidance of Fakeba Sen and Modlamin Nyasi. Of course Fakeba Sen and her girls, and his girls rather, are currently having a great run in the top flight of Gambian football, leading the table under the noses over TMT and Red Scorpions. Balde Mariama, a long one. Is that going to be a goal? Caught out by Kadi Sanyang. Another opportunity for Berewuleng Football Club, and finally into the gloves of the goalkeeper Diminga Mendy. Diminga, the trusted goalkeeper for Berewuleng Football Club, currently urging our fellow players to move forward, and we'll start the play through Mariama Sise, known as MC. Playing that ball short, Abimari Sambu. Khadija to Drame, back to Mariama Sise. Mariama operating on the right side of the defense. Caught out by Mariama Balde. She seems to be everywhere defensively. Elizabeth Ndeke, the center forward. This is Wude Koli, team captain. Great back heel. This time around, caught out by the central defense, of course, Rebecca Mendy. And Rebecca is also part of the national under 20. It's a Tosul on the far side. The new entrant up against Mariama Sise, who clears, partly blocked in there by Berewuleng Football Club. Mariama Sise once again. Playing that ball short to Khadija to Drame. This time Mafanta lost possession. It's going to be Berewuleng. Berewuleng trying to switch the play from the right to the left. Unfortunately, the flag of the unfortunately, the central referee very close to the scene has already given the advantage to the girls in red and black. Of course, Sidat Kujabi, we have seen a lot of man marking in this contest. When we came here right from the beginning, we have seen a lot of man marking coming from Abimari Sambu and Wude Koli. Wherever Wude is, Abimari Sambu will try to track her down. And also looking at Mariama Balde, he's also trying to coil down the run of Ilan Gomez. So I think these two teams are very much aware with the dangers being posed by most of these teams. And also offensively, up front for Greater Tomorrow, we've seen Elizabeth Ndeki struggling in the hands of the central defense of Kadi Sanyang and co. So I think they must have a lot of homework before coming to this contest. And I think in this game we have seen a lot of man marking in this contest.
Indeed. It's like 4-3-3 up against 4-4-2. This Peter decided to switch, tactically, midway in the season. He used to play with 4-3-3 formation, but then realizing the strength of the team, that is when it comes to the two Talis ladies in the name of Elizabeth Deki and also Messinda, both firing goals with high scoring rate. Then he decided to make that technical or tactical switch to accommodate and give more freedom to both attackers to have more opportunity or freedom to take on the defenders and see how they can score more goals, and it has been effective for him. And like you alluded earlier, Mariama, the number 14 of Greater Tomorrow, and then Abi Maria Sambu, these are two unfortunate, players to be left out in the U20 team that went to, that went to Ivory Coast and also played at home, against Ivory Coast in the World Cup qualifiers. But then you wouldn't be surprised if I tell you that we have both the team manager of the U20 and also the gaffer of the U20, who is Angelic, and then the gaffer, Joe Jabang, are all here, because this is a fixture that they have great interest to do the scouting at the right time, because the Gambia by June, July will be back to the WAFU under 20 in Senegal, and there isn't a better time to do the homework, to make sure correct what went wrong in the FIFA qualifiers, and then these two teams are one of the best teams that are doing the job when it comes to the first tier and also the second tier, and then the bulk of those players who will be eligible within the 8 brackets also fall within Berewuleng when it comes to the first division, and then a whole lot of others in the second division. But then these are two teams wherein I believe, they are still going to dominate, the selection process. And you wouldn't be surprised to see, additional names like Abi Maria, who have been on the lips of every follower that, she was just unfortunate, but, one of the workaholic, holding midfielders, if you like, doing all the dirty works, giving that freedom to both Khadija to Drame and then Kumba Gassama to take attack onto the opponent. And like you said, we have seen her impact trying to mitigate the impact of Wude Koli in the heart of the midfield. And then likewise, Mariama Jamme of Greater Tomorrow, number 14, also, making sure, she takes the right zone. Look at the way she position. She always makes sure, she give that right security or right balance to the defense line. The gap in the spacing or the positioning between her and the back four have been, remarkable, for Greater Tomorrow. I was just unfortunate to see how the goals were scored, but then, I think tactically, they are up for it in the second half. They know how they are organizing themselves, how, they take the zones without the ball, and then, whenever they are attacking, also they know how to do the job. And MC is going out, that's a surprise. But then the governor who's, best, but I think she's having a good team, and if there is another player to be selected in the upcoming WAFU U20, MC is one of the names. She has been called the last WAFU, but unfortunately, dropped at a later part, and that we explain, due to Rebecca. And you have seen that tactical switch by the gaffer. Rebecca switched from the left fullback to the right fullback to accommodate, Mary Jata, who normally plays at the left fullback of the attack. And if Fake was still wish, he can play with a back three wherein, Rebecca will add numbers to Murida and then Kadi Sanyang to give her more solidity at the back. That is Rebecca for you. And I think this is where she always, saddle, and then have edge over MC. Not when it comes to individually two of them. The quality wise, you can easily pick MC ahead of him. But when it comes to those options, those versatile positioning, Murida, Rebecca will bring. MC is always limited to that. She is only good at playing at the right fullback, taking, the attack onto the opponent, delivering the crosses and also doing an amazing defensive job. But then, she cannot play at the left. She cannot play at the centralmost part of the defense. This has been, her disadvantages whenever it comes to Rebecca and then MC for you. But then it has been an amazing game that we watch, and you seen, Jube Koli for Greater Tomorrow. And to me, one of the best signing, this year in the second division have been, Jube Koli for Greater Tomorrow. This is a player who knows, how to entertain the fans with, skillful display and also, quality.
Is that going to be the fourth goal? Sarah Jaju dribble past the goalkeeper, and Rasul, nothing given by the central referee. Of course, the entire technical team protested against the decision, but the central referee pointed for a corner instead of awarding a penalty.
Indeed. I think the referee is closer to the action than most of us here, though we will have it will be a controversial decision, and then that's the beauty of the game. And we are just unfortunate, we don't have a video assistant, referee, to help the referee in this situation. But I believe there is a contact, but the referee thinks, the contact is not, sufficient enough to be awarded. Hence, Berewuleng is currently leading with a whooping margin. I think, that might be one of the reasons why he gave a blind eye to that decision. But I think, Sarah was caught in on the occasion part.
There we go. Say Sidat Kujabi, decently done. Kumba Kasama. This time it is Elen Gomez around the edge of the 18 for Berewuleng Football Club. Still searching and searching for more goals, leading by 3-0 against fellow Brikama based club Berewuleng, or against Greater Tomorrow. Mariama Balde around the area. Elizabeth. This time around, player Rasul once again, and this time the central referee is in the least interested. Sarah Jaju once again. Central referee waved in for a play on. Of course, the referee is Mariama Ofal, having the assistance of Sena Bucham, Keba Mari, and Lamin Damfa, of course, serving as the fourth assistant referee. Of course, it has been a furious technical bench for Berewuleng Football Club. They believe the central referee should have awarded 2 penalties. Both penalties should have been awarded to the forward Sarah Jajo, but the central referee not the least interested as he waved in for a play on instead of awarding a penalty to Berewuleng Football Club. And currently Berewuleng leading by 3-0. Already Elen Gomez getting the 4th goal. Sarah Jajo with a brace. It's going to be an opportunity. Mariama Baji, another great player for Greater Tomorrow. Greater Tomorrow, Elizabeth Ndeke. Back to Mariama once again. Baji Mariama to the central defense of Yasin Sise. Yasin flutes that. This time a decent header coming from Elen Gomez. Sarah Jaju trying to go solo. This time it's going to be another great run. Sarah Jaju, is that going to be another goal? Blocked in there by the goalkeeper. Of course, timely interception coming from Mariama Jalo in goal for Greater Tomorrow. Misinda, the under 20 forward. Incredible run coming from Misinda. Kadi Jaju or Kadi Sanyang just there in time to cut that ball out. It has been a lively contest, great contest. Kemo Kanye, and we have already seen 2 penalty decisions all waived against Berewuleng Football Club by the central referee and the entire technical bench. Of course, very furious. They believe that the central referee should have awarded that, but unfortunately, the referee not the least interested. It is Mafanta Drame. Mafanta Drame trying to go solo, trying to dribble past her marker, unfortunately lost it. And it is currently a lively second half. Of course, we have seen a great first half, but of course a more entertaining second half in the game between Greater Tomorrow and fellow Brikama based club Berewuleng Football Club.
Yes, highly contested decisions here by the fans, in fact, behind us. Majority of the fans believe that those 2 tackles should have been penalties for the Berewuleng side, but nonetheless the center referee has the final say, and then C was very close to the scene, as Siddharth has said, than any of us here outside, and even the fans that are shouting. But it's always some decisions by the referees are always contested by the fans, especially those siding with the team that the decision doesn't favor. But nonetheless, it is football for you. So the center referee was there, and then C tries to make sure she will be given a very good decisions in that. So we have nothing to argue about that, because we are very far from the scene, and then the center referee was very close to the scene. So I believe the videos, those that are watching, will also be at a very good position to know exactly what happens inside that penalty area where Sarah Jaju was brought down twice, and then the center referee was very close to the scene but didn't award in favor of the Berewuleng side. Instead, she plays for a corner kick, and also allows the player to continue on the subsequent tackle on Sarah, as it was claimed by the technical bench and also some of the fans out there. So but it is still 3-0 in favor of Berewuleng side, and then they will be hoping that they keep this particular game as it is. Currently we are in the We are just into the 35th minute of the of this particular second half here, and then Greater Tomorrow have 10 minutes or so to be able to pull these 3 goals down, while that of Berewuleng have 10 minutes or so to be able to defend this particular 3 goals to nil lead here, and then qualify themselves to the qualifies themselves rather to the last 8 of this particular FF Cup for women. Let's see what happens here.
That's also another close one. And this time never trouble the goalkeeper. Berewuleng 3, Greater Tomorrow nil. The score is currently in Coach Fakeba Sen's favor. Fakeba Sen and his girls enjoying the 3-0 advantage. Got the first goal courtesy of Ilen Gomez before Sarah Jaju getting the brace. It is currently 3-0 in their favor. Advantage Berewuleng Football Club is of course a busy technical area for Berewuleng Football Club, and also the head coach Peter N. Mendy for Greater Tomorrow Football Club, and these two sides of course playing in the top tier and second tier of Gambian football. Berewuleng Football Club playing in the top flight of Gambian women's football, currently leading the table with 33 points, closely monitored by TMT of course on second with the same point. Red Scorpions third with 32, Police on fourth with 25, Brikama United on fifth with 16, Immigration sixth with 14 points, Koita seventh with 13, Yakar FC of course the debutants on 8 with 12 points, Future B 9th with 7, Juswang United currently the struggling side in the GFF Women's Division 1. Of course, in the GFF Women's Division 2, Fortune leading the chart, closely monitored by Greater Tomorrow. Armed Forces, City Girls, Kintes Lower Nyomi, Presents, Mansawali, Jumama, Dabos, Young Icons, Jog on Lioness, of course, another struggling side in the second tier of Gambian women's football. Mafanta Drame came on as a substitute, trying to dribble past her marker. Still Mafanta looking for options, floats that ball forward, glancing header coming from Khadija to Drame into the gloves of the goalkeeper Mariama Ajalo. It's a lively and interesting second half between Greater Tomorrow and Berewuleng. The winner will advance, and seemingly it's going to be Berewuleng Football Club unless something dramatic happens here. Anyway, it's going to be another substitution any moment from now, and this time coming from Berewuleng or Greater Tomorrow Football Club. Greater Tomorrow Football Club dressed in red shirts, black shorts and red socks, playing from our left to right from our commentary cabin, whilst Berewuleng dressed in blue and black shirts, and white socks. Berewuleng Football Club under the guidance of Coach Fake Basen. Any moment from now we will have another substitution coming from Greater Tomorrow. The team trailed by 3-0. They need to score, not only to score but need to score thrice. They have to score and score again to possibly have the chance in securing a spot in the final 8, and the winner will advance to the last 8. Berewuleng Football Club, of course the runners-up of the Women's FF Cup last season after the defeat to Red Scorpions, and currently in the table standing Red Scorpions is currently trailing Berewuleng Football Club. Any moment from now we will have another substitution coming from Greater Tomorrow, and Greater Tomorrow currently preparing to effect another substitution. But before that, Mariama Balde flutes that ball forward, this time never trouble the goalkeeper, and of course the goalkeeper is Diminga Mendy. Diminga on the far side will surely effect a goal kick or possibly have the chance to hand that ball to one of the central defenders, Kadi Sanya. The under 20 central defender Mariama Balde. It's another interception coming from the new entrant Miriam Jata. It's going to be Sarah Jacho. Is that going to be the 4th goal? Sarah dribble past the goalkeeper, looking for the 4th goal, all into the bottom corner. And is the 4th goal, of course, is a hat-trick for Sarah Jajo. Hat-trick for the pacey centre forward. I think with her pace, she can trouble any central defense. Sensidat Kujabi.
Yeah, that's her unique characteristics and unique quality out of the rest of the strikers in the women division. When it comes to pace, you know, Sarah is that striker for you who can rely on her pace, you know, beat past our markers and eventually do the damage. This has been her unique characteristics, and yet again, she rely on it and do Greater Tomorrow the damage. You can see, Sadio Cisse of Greater Tomorrow is definitely struggling against Sarah's pace. I think it could have been 6 or 7 goals by now if the referee have awarded those which we believe from our position, the way we are judging, we believe that was a penalty that wasn't awarded. And if those were awarded, Berewuleng could have been 7 goals up by now. And courtesy of all those threats come from the same player that we are talking. Whenever Sarah is running with the ball, she is always deadly, is always problematic for the defenders to match her pace, because this has been Sarah's strength, and she always rely upon her advantage to do the work for Berewuleng. And it's not a surprise to see her yet again produce that amazing tricky run into space, big pass, both Sadio Cisse and then Teresa, who were just helpless in that occasion, and eventually also beat the goalkeeper and then slot it home to celebrate it at the far corner of the other side of the pitch. And you can see still Berewuleng are ambitious going forward. And Greater Tomorrow, I think they are just unfortunate unfortunate in the sense that when you look at the team, the strength of the team, when you look at their individual qualities of the players that Peter have at his disposal, you can see where Peter is vulnerable when it comes to between the sticks. The goalkeeper that step in as the custodian for Greater Tomorrow have not been one of the best goalkeepers we have in the women's league, both first and second. I think this is where Greater Tomorrow found themselves very vulnerable, and lucky for them they also rely upon their attack, their attacking abilities or qualities to score more goals. But if you take a close analysis of the table, you can see Greater Tomorrow is one of the teams that also conceded a lot of goals when it comes to the women's division. That can tell you the goalkeeper is not up to par, margin the likes of Mary NF Gomez of Mansawali, the likes of Diminga Mendy of Berewuleng and the others, when it comes to the women's division. So I think this is where Greater Tomorrow needs to improve on coming into the first tier come next season if they want to sustain or maintain themselves in the top flight, because they are to come against the very best, attackers in the women's division. You name. We have seen, the quality coming from Sarah, and then you also are talking about the likes of Fat Sonko of Gambia Police Force, the Nyimasane of Gambia Police, and then one of the most eye-catching, deadless strikers in the women's division in the name of Kumba Kuyate of Red Scorpion, and with a bad goalkeeping, performance coming from the netminder at that high level, performance, Greater Tomorrow are always going to be, exposed and vulnerable when it comes to, between the sticks. So I think, Peter needs to improve on that and, work on that department to see to it that Greater Tomorrow improve when it comes to, the goalpost. And it will be interesting to see, whether Greater Tomorrow will play the first division with their skipper or captain in the name of Ude Koli, who is highly tipped to travel away far away from the Gambia, and this is happening at a low profile. But then we are up to speed, and I can let the cat out of the bag that the probability of Woody playing the women's top flight come next year is like 0.0001%, and then the probability of playing far away from Africa, probably in Europe, could be 99.000%. So that can tell you her dream of qualifying Greater Tomorrow to First Division, she will achieve it. But whether she is going to play for Greater Tomorrow in the top flight remains to be the question.
So Siddharth, of course, I am really impressed. Of course, this is the very first time seeing Ude Koli play. So, but I think when I came here, I think she caught my eye, definitely caught my eye. And then she's definitely a fantastic player. Looking at the way she possesses the ball and also have that control on the ball is just first class. But anyway, wishing her all the very best of luck with Greater Tomorrow and also possibly having the chance to play elsewhere. Anyway, back to the live commentary. Under 3 minutes of additional time. This is Sarah Jaju. Currently scored a hat-trick and already rewarded by the central referee, of course, central referee Mariama Ofal. And seemingly, Kim Okanyi, it's going to be an advancement for Berewuleng Football Club after getting 4 goals past Greater Tomorrow. And for Greater Tomorrow, of course, we all know in football it is never over until it is all over. They have to score and score again, possibly have the chance to advance to the quarter-final, which is very slim currently. And we can say Berewuleng is just a few moments away from securing a spot in the quarter-final of the Women's FF Cup. Of course, the runners-up in the last edition also on the verge of securing yet another position in the quarter-final of the Women's FF Cup.
Yes, less than 3 minutes for Berewuleng to qualify themselves to the FF Cup quarter-final for the women. So already they are leading by 4-0, and then one will tell, as you have said, it is never over until everything is over in football. But this one will tell you that Berewuleng are currently 100% into. They will 100% book their way to the quarter-finals because already leading here by 4-0, and then Greater Tomorrow. I mean, they will need at least a little over 2 minutes to score at least 4 goals here. One will tell you that. I mean, they are not a team that will be able to do that against this Berewuleng side here. The way we have seen their performance here, and then what we have witnessed here currently tells you that Berewuleng will, of course, make their way rather to the FF Cup quarter-final, and then they will be able to still be chasing a double trophy because they are leading in the female division 1, and then currently here they are leading by 4-0, and then be moving to the quarter-final stage there after semi-final, and then into the final. So they will be hoping to win the double this season, and then they have the qualities to do that because other teams were doing it when they were on good forms, and then Berewuleng also have the capabilities, and they have the players that can be able to do this one for them, and I believe they will be able to chase this dream, and then with time they will be able to realize and then make a double at the end of the season.
Is that going to be the 5th goal? There we go. Sarah Jaju trying to go solo. Can she got the 4th goal, and that's the 4th goal for Sarah Jaju. And it is 5-0 Berewuleng, leading Greater Tomorrow 5 solid 5-0 at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. Sarah Jaju scored the quadruple of the goals. Scored 4, and the only goal coming from Elen Gomez. Sidat Kujabi, of course, it has been a whooping 5-0 advantage for Coach Fake Basen and his girls at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. And of course, few moments into this few moments away from the end of this contest.
Yeah, looking at Sarah and all about Sarah, and you can't doubt it when I told you that Sarah. It's just because of her age that's why she is also not going back along with Woody Koli when it comes to playing far away from the Gambia, probably to at least give a clue to our followers, play in Europe, because Sarah is currently 16 years of age, and then when it comes to the FIFA protocol, players who are still at 16 cannot sign a direct contract, but then every year she will be going to Germany and coming. But Wude Kole, like I told you earlier, would definitely play elsewhere away from the Gambia. It has been an amazing game that we watch, and so entertaining, and high quality performance coming from both teams. But at the end of the day, quality will always shine over raw talent, and that's what Berewuleng have shown. Talent coupled with quality. Whilst Greater Tomorrow, they have shown talent, but then that quality of playing at high level is what is missing. And then it has been an amazing showpiece of football. We wish to see the best team making it to the final.
Thank you very much. And that session that Kujabi earlier on Kemo Kanye, and it is all over, of course, all over at the Box Bar Mini Stadium, of course, in the Brikama and West Coast Derby in the Women's FF Cup. Round of 16 between Berewuleng and Greater Tomorrow, and it ended Berewuleng Football Club 5, Greater Tomorrow 0, and Berewuleng got 4 of their goals coming from Sarah Jaju and Ellen Gomez getting the other goal that secured the 5-0 victory for Coach Fake Basen and his girls at the Box Bar Mini Stadium. And this is where we're going to wrap it up. Of course, wrap it up. And it has been LSTV1 live from the Box Bar Mini Stadium at the commentary cabin, Parliament Fati. Kemo Kanyi, Sesidat Kujabi, and also on camera operations is our ever reliable and present Osman Kamara. Until then, bye-bye from the Box Bar Mini Stadium.